I know, TV, but I only have one theater room. Well, with that out of the way, let's get to work installing the new one with some help from our sponsor. I'd say you're gonna be happy with either one, and it is a pretty exciting time to be alive that not only do gigantic format displays like this exist, but there is competition in this space.
Just like there's competition to see who can segue first.
To our sponsor. Yeah. Now normally, we try to focus on a single product for this series, but considering that these two differ by only $15 and just a few thousand ratings, we figured we'll check out both to see if the extra money would be better spent on a small upgrade or maybe on our sponsor. Just whatever you do, do not buy them direct from Logitech. Get them on sale pretty much anywhere else. And it's also worth noting those will not work with Xbox. They might work though, to hear our sponsor.
The Chinese inch, it's longer.
Okay, so it should be bigger. That means we've been scammed. So I need to unbox these TVs to find out what the heck we got, how big they really are, and even if they work. Also, where's our segue to today's sponsor? We did find some, let's call them interesting decisions that we need to talk about later, but the effect is just straight up awesome. I mean, look at the way this segue pops out to our sponsor. Usability, price, and convenience all need to take some major steps forward, none of which seem to have happened in the last 2 years. But hey, at least Trine 2 looks great. So great that it makes me want to keep rooting for this technology the way that I root for our sponsor. More features, a case that doesn't look straight out of the Fallout universe, and the same or better performance than the PS5 Pro. But be warned, this ain't gonna be a smooth ride, unlike this smooth segue to our sponsor. Shut up. Oh, that's my boss.
Yeah, okay.
But before Mark Cerny calls me out in another interview, I fully acknowledge that, yeah, we killed the PS5 Pro, but we also threw sand in its eyes before the fight even started. So, pocket sponsor, yeah! We thought, what better way to show off how flipping cool it is than to wrap my entire car in glow? Feel cool yet?
I'm in a Porsche.
We're gonna show you guys how it works after we show you this message from our sponsor. Surely, in a world where headphones can be wireless and we can cancel out background noise on a Zoom call like magic, it can't be that hard to build a building speaker setup that's actually clear.
Oh, yes, it can.
But we can do it, right?
I mean, of course.
But first we have to segue.
To our sponsor.
It's as easy as that.
That's so cool!
I know. I mean, we may have to switch a VLAN around, but that's mostly for security, right?
That's really cool. Like this cool segue to our sponsor. It's fine.
Yep.
Step 3 is to hit up the local Facebook marketplace, where we found a total of 3 solutions that we think have a solid crack at beating our bows. And look at this. We also found this segue to our sponsor. Spending a little bit of time Googling model numbers, looking over user manuals, and maybe even giving them a quick listen before you buy could give you way better bang for your buck and even save you hundreds of dollars compared to buying a brand new setup. What you won't have to spend hundreds of dollars on is this segue to our sponsor. That's free. Leaving us with only one real option. A passive 3D setup like they have in the movie theaters with dual projectors, these unobtainium filters, and a whole lot of jank. Also a whole lot of segue to our sponsor. Final form, like the greatest stereo 3D gaming setup of all time.
Can I have it?
Well, I mean, it'll be in our house. You can use it.
But can I own it?
You can own this segue.
To our sponsor.
Every dollar that David put into this came right out of the precious collectibles he had to sell to pay for it. So I think it's time to roll up our sleeves and stretch some dollars. Like I'm stretching out this segue to our sponsor. This crushes what, like any soundbar you would have bought for this price. Crushes it. I don't know, man. I think you might have nailed it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the transformation almost as much as David did, and hopefully you'll enjoy this segue to our sponsor. Only their overall pick to see if beating back the tidal wave of sponsored crap really is as simple as just trusting Amazon, the guys who sold us out in the first place. Will it be better? Let's find out after this segue to our sponsor. It's impossible to avoid the truth that it is getting a little long in the tooth, especially if you consider that 50 series is rumored to be right around the corner. Along with this segue to our sponsor. So sit back as we unleash this blizzard of tech tips upon you. We are building 3 PCs at 3 different price points, and when we're done, you're gonna be equipped to make an informed decision and to save some serious money along the way, just like this serious segue to our sponsor. Just remember that because of the nature and timing of sales, the prices will be different every week, but if you were to start with any of these builds as a springboard, we're confident that you should end up with an amazing PC. And I'm also confident you'll end up with an amazing segue to an amazing sponsor. Even though I invested $250,000 into the idea that became HexOS over 2 years ago, I have literally never tried it until today, like right now. Jake, is it any good?
I'm not telling you before our sponsor.
But I just wanted to make it clear here that there will be options, unlike all those users that are running those vulnerable D-Link NASs that simply will never be updated to fix it. Brutal. Like this brutal segue to our sponsor.